we gained health over that fight. I hope that was very clear. Welcome back to the channel. All right, it is time for volume 2 of Is Kingpin the best skill champion in the game? In volume 1, we took a in-depth look at the synergy with Hood and all the different sorts of lanes and things that you could take with Kingpin, with Hood, who's not a bad champion himself. This is volume 2. We're going to look at Kingpin by himself. What can this guy do on his own? And in particular, the shrugging ability, it is going to come into play significantly. This is going to be map 8 AQ. Thank you to frequent commenter and someone who's been hanging out a lot on my Discord server and having a lot of fun. Chuck, thank you for this recommendation. I took Kingpin in and he absolutely blows this away. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, yes, Hood increases the shrugging chance to 100%, but without Hood, Kingpin still can shrug 60% of the debuffs. Additionally, remember, he is getting significant benefits to these debuffs, which will eventually help him get to his overpowered. Let's go ahead and jump straight into this so you can kind of look and see at the node that we're dealing with. You get this visionary crossfight, right? Each time the attacker purifies a debuff, they gain a steadfast charge. You guys can read it. Basically, it's going to allow us to block unblockables. The key here, though, is there's a Nick Fury on this lane, and that guy is a pain in the butt. But additionally, if we're shrugging these debuffs and we have this crossfight, we will be able to block unblockables, including his SP1. It's a really cool, beautiful, beautiful thing. There's a few other things about the node I do want to show you. This has the Schadenfreude. Right, so they're going to get this Fury buff. Okay, cool. Combat Deja Vu unblockable. So that's why you're going to see me doing a lot of like medium, light, medium, into the heavy, back and forth, that sort of thing. And then here's where a lot of the debuffs are coming. I will be running the suicides. We'll take a look at that. And then the special burst lockdown, he's going to be applying these debuffs. One of them is a heal block. So I felt like I was taking a little bit of a risk, but I wanted to test this out. And also, I just didn't want to remove suicides. And I wanted to show this to you because I know a lot of you like to use suicides. You don't like to remove them. That's where I'm at. We're in off season of war. So what does this realistically look like? Can Kingpin do this? Oh boy, can he? All right, so there we go. We've already shrugged the poison, leaving on the bleed. But then again, remember, he is seeing a nice benefit from the debuffs. Each debuff on Kingpin only strengthens his resolve, it says. Increasing attack rating by 1068. So that is big. That is big. He shrugged the heal block, which is nice. If he doesn't shrug the heal block, I could get in a little bit of trouble here. But again, let's see how this works out. His healing is nice. Look at this. We're getting 228 a tick there, back down to 79 there. So, okay, that's fine. I wanted to really test this. So I threw my SP2 to get that unblockable. In hindsight, I don't really know how smart that was. If, again, purely for this fight, I don't think that was a really good idea. Probably should just go to the SP3 if I wanted to be very, very smart about it. But again, I'm testing stuff out, wanted to see how this actually works and how you guys and myself, obviously, can maybe use Kingpin with suicides without Hood. I'm very contented with this. I've thrown, I think, 2 specials now. We're at 75% health. We're getting all of these. You can see that 29 of those charges now. And the big deal for me was, now I've got the crossfight. I saw that you can get these fights done. He will shrug enough. Let's go in and take on this Nick Fury. Now remember, Nick Fury will sometimes be going unblockable anyways. I'm going to do what I can to kind of manage his charges here. I typically like to fight him with a mutant. But, you know, this is what I wanted to test. This is what I wanted to test. So we've already shrugged the poison. And now we're just going to go in. Again, it's a little bit of a slower play style, but it works for this node. And ideally, what I think you would want to do is work your way here to an SP3, kind of like bank it in a way, don't use it, get Nick into a second life. In fact, Chuck was saying this is the strategy he uses. You're gonna see me throw my SP3 earlier. Get Nick into a second life, let it drain his health bar down significantly, and just use the SP3 to finish him off. But right now, I'm feeling very happy with this. I'm gonna go ahead and punish it, and that was my plan. And I don't remember exactly what happens, but there's a reason why I don't do that. So let's go ahead and look and see here. There we go. So look at this though. We had 8 of those charges. He threw his SP1. I was doing what I could to encourage him to not holding block, these sorts of things. He threw it anyway. And because Kingpin has shrugged so many debuffs, I blocked all of those unblockable hits. Then I went in and I knew I would trigger his unblockable because I wanted to get him to his SP2. I did not have the charges anymore because I used them all. I wanted to get him to his SP2 because I can evade that. I don't know how to evade his SP1. I thought that was really cool. It was really cool to me. That's another sign of a great champion in Kingpin, that if things don't go exactly to the plan you had, do they have another avenue? Is there another way for them to handle this problem? So there we go. We're going to land this heavy. We've only got 5 of our rage debuff, so our attacks increase, but not as much as if we can get to the overcharge or something like that. I'm just letting the second life go down. Sent him unblockable again, so this is a little bit of a risk. I wanted to hurry up and try to get him to his SP2 again because it's evadable. There we go. That means we're shrugging more debuffs again because he's throwing them. Wanted to get out of this fight, and right then and there, I was a happy camper. Right then and there, I was thinking, I've handled the problem. Kingpin can do this. All right, so then the next champion we're moving on to was this, the champion. Again, like I said, I had already felt very satisfied with my Kingpin with Suicides, without Hood experience, but I wanted to see if he could finish his lane. Let's see this. Let's check out his healing. You can see the amount of healing we're doing. Right now, we're losing. We're losing the healing battle. This is what I'm talking about, where if I was actually suggesting this to someone, I would not say run Suicides, bring Kingpin in without Hood. But I think this shows, or I know this demonstrates how effective he can be, at least for a couple of fights. And then this doesn't end. This doesn't even end here in the champion fight. So we're being a little wary of what the champion can do. Obviously going unstoppable, especially when he's got these the Fury buffs. You saw the really solid, I mean, look at the damage that we're doing here just by doing these like silly little 3-hit combos and heavying over and over. That was 20,000 in 3 hits. That was a 22k heavy attack. That is, for me, is another massive advantage to Kingpin, is that you can play him quickly. You can utilize the SP1, you can utilize the SP2. I actually even like going to the SP3 sometimes. But when you play him slowly on a lane like this that is applying these debuffs, you're going to build up into your overcharge. You're going to have a significant attack increase so that you can do things like medium, light, medium, parry, heavy, and do that over and over because that's what the node necessitates. We gained health over that fight. I hope that was very clear. Again, I was already very contented with Kingpin and his performance in this, and then he did that. Now we're going to go into this fight against Mangoes here. There's all kinds of stuff on that node. They want you to well-time block the specials. Honestly, with Mangoes, I just don't want to deal with his SP2. I have no idea how to evade it. It often catches me. So I'm not worried about well-time blocking it. I'm just trying to get him to throw his SP1s. And if he gets to his SP2, I'm just going to block. So here we go. I'm doing what I can to get him to just throw his SP1s. This fight will take long enough, though, that he's going to reach his Enrage, I believe. If I remember correctly, he will reach his SP2. So here we go. We're in the fight. We lose some health in the beginning there, but we're starting to build our health back. 79 a tick, as you can see. We're able to kind of play Kingpin as we want to. In hindsight, maybe I should have thrown the SP1, but I didn't. It's fine. I believe I will throw the SP2, or maybe I saved to the SP3. No, at this point, I realized he was gaining his rage stacks, and I was probably going to need to intercept with a special. So I intentionally held on. That's what it was. Here we go. So we're going to intercept with the special. We've gone unstoppable. That did some nice damage. I'm very content with that. Going to utilize our unstoppable as best we can while still not wanting to deal with his SP2, but he does have a passive power gain. And I wanted to point this out too. He's going to get to his SP2 and throw it. Watch how much health we lose. I'm contented with that. I'm contented with that. This is a big, beefy boy. Kingpin can take a hit. He can take a hit on the block. I wouldn't want to do that over and over. We only lost, I think it was 7% health, and we're already healing it back up. We're already going to, I think we're going to end this fight at 40% if we don't throw another special. Boom. This guy is awesome. This guy is really, really awesome. Oh, and we're still not done. And in case it's not clear, I believe it is from watching the health bar at the end of a fight to the beginning of the next fight. I'm not using any health potions. This is just him. This is just Kingpin running the recoil tree, suicide masteries, no hood. All right. Now, if the debuffs that were being applied were damaging debuffs, and again, I don't know if I would do this, but it's a heal block and I think an armor break. I think you're fine doing this. I think you're fine doing this. In fact, I know you are. I just did it again in AQ on day 2. I think it was the Nick Fury fight. The heal block actually stayed And so I had a whole series of it on, still soloed the lane, absolutely no problems, plenty of damage. Yeah. So there we go. We're just playing Yellow Jacket. I'm used to his SP1 being unblockable. I don't remember if that was an AQ node or if he just got placed there a lot on an old war map, but I'm used to baiting his SP1s, ending combos in light so I can back up. And even though I know this SP1's not unblockable, it just muscle memory took over. And again, I'm hammering this point home. Running suicides, no hood. What is this, fight number 5 now? 38% health. We've been maintaining between about 35 and 45 for a few fights now. And in my opinion, if I was just trying to play this well, if I was just regularly trying to get through AQ without spending my items, I would either just remove suicides, which I don't think is necessary, or I would just throw the SP3. It does plenty of damage. You're going to get a nice stun off of it. Plus, you're going to gain 4 rage and refresh all over power debuffs. Probably getting you pretty close to his overcharge or his overpower. I apologize. Meaning you're going to have a lot of attack power. The defender's going to be stunned. You can go in there and just beat the absolute heck out of them. And if you actually time it right, you might be able to get in your 3rd heavy, which will increase your attack damage even more. If you want to do that, just be a little careful because of the combat deja vu there if you're throwing 3 heavies in a row. This dude is awesome. This guy is absolutely awesome. I love him. I'm so happy I had him at rank 3 before his buff went live. That was a little risky, but I'm glad it worked out. And I think there may be a volume 3 looking at more of his synergies, but I know a lot of you have learned a lot about Kingpin and what he can do. I don't know if there was anything on him without Hood while also running suicides. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you feel like I missed anything or if you have anything else to add. I'm always interested in learning from the comments and having that conversation with you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.